Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. We'll see what kind of controversies they get into, but between now and then, some great guests and important information coming your way. We'll talk about, for example, healthcare enrollment. It's that time of the year, you know. We'll also talk about workforce development and training for some great jobs. And we'll have a visit from one of our area mayors. All that's coming your way and much more. But first, let's start out talking about an organization that's a wonderful organization and a big event that helps support it. Our two very special guests have returned with us. We've had them on before, always glad to get them back. On my immediate right, Brent Bennett is a board member of the Down Syndrome Association of Greater Winston-Salem. We'll give you website and information on that later on. Welcome, Brent. How you doing?
Thank you.
Next to Brent, our good buddy David Daggett, attorney with Daggett Schuler, who's a big supporter of the event we're going to be talking about, and thanks for being here, David.
Thank you.
Brent, I'm going to start out with you.
Okay.
For people that don't know, or maybe they've just moved into the area, or they just don't know about it, and you say Down Syndrome Association of Greater Winston-Salem. What is that all about? Who does it serve? What does it involve? Give us sort of an idea.
Well, it serves all the families in this community.
And that's a good answer. It serves all the families in this community.
Right.
And they do a terrific job of providing resources and help and guidance for families with Down syndrome.
Sure. And of course, in talking about the general public, it's important that you guys are also trying to make the public more aware
Yes.
of Down syndrome. And David, why is that so important that we have more public awareness and education?
Well, it's important from the aspect of inclusiveness and awareness. And what's interesting, our big event that's coming up, the Buddy Walk, is a perfect example of inclusiveness and awareness of the issues. And the thing that's always striking to me is the acceptance and inclusiveness that the Down syndrome people give people like me.
Right.
Now, Brent works pretty hard to keep me straight.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, off camera, he was keeping you straight off camera. I heard that. That's right. But now you mentioned the Buddy Walk. We're going to put up on screen just a little bit when it is. I know it's coming up. We'll keep people in suspense for just a second. But it's supposed to be really good this year, even growing more than last year, right? And what kind of activities will people see at the Buddy Walk? Because it's not just the walk. There's other stuff, right?
Well, the talent show and all the goodies that we'll have.
Various activities.
There's activities, there's a raffle, there's a talent show, there's going to be live music. It's really a great event. And in fact, I think there's close to 700 pre-registered people already.
Really?
Over 200 volunteers signed up already. The very aggressive goal this year was to raise $75,000. We're just $7,500 away from meeting that goal.
Wow.
So we're ahead of schedule on fundraising.
That's just great.
Brent's team, Brent's Buddies, is in second place in the team competition on raising money.
Wow.
So
great.
Brent's leadership and doing a good job with that is extremely helpful.
Brent, when we talk about all these activities, and what's your favorite part of each year when the Buddy Walk comes around? What's your favorite part of the Buddy Walk day?
Well, actually the walk and the talent show.
And the talent show. We might enter David in the talent show.
We need that.
That's right.
Him in it.
David, serious question, David. Why are you and your partner Griff and Daggett Schuler always so supportive? There's so many causes we can't possibly be involved with everything. But you guys do a lot for this. Why?
Griff and I are really moved by the acceptance and inclusion that is demonstrated. And if we had more net in society, a lot of our problems would go away.
That's true of a lot of things.
And it's interesting how folks like Brent can provide leadership to people like me and to our community.
All right, we promised we'd tell you the information. So up on screen, Buddy Walk, Saturday, October 26th.
Next Saturday.
Yeah, it's coming up. So that's right, because if you're watching Saturday or Sunday right now, you've got some time to plan and go out there. West Forsyth High School in Clemens, where it's going to kick off, right?
Yes.
So hopefully, and up on screen, you can go to dsagws.org, get right to the association to find out more about that, and also check out the Daggett Schuler website as well, if you would. They do so many great things in the community. DaggettSchulerLaw.com. To David and Brent, thanks for doing this.
And I tell you, anybody that comes out, they'll be blown away by what they see.
Absolutely.
They'll love it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
We'll be right back after that today. And anytime we can take the time to talk about workforce development and training folks for good jobs, and that's time well spent. And we spend that time with somebody who's an expert in this field. Next to me, our good buddy Wanda Beck, who's Director of Workforce Development at Randolph Community College. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Is there a demand for skilled trades today?
Absolutely. In fact, if you look at the Department of Labor website, they'll tell you that the demand for trades is actually almost, well, more than double what it is the average for other occupations.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Now, would that also apply to the building trades, or traditional building trades?
Yes.
Is the demand up for that?
Absolutely. So the average for all occupations is about 5%. For building trades, it's 10 to 11%, all the way up to 14%.
Wow.
For plumbing, the expected growth rate is 14%.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the plumbing in just a second, but before I leave that, you sent me an email one day, and you kept referring to quote unquote, higher skill trades.
Yes.
Now, give me an example of what you're talking about with higher skill trades. What are you talking about?
So we are basically talking about things like electrical and HVAC and plumbing, welding, carpentry. A lot of people don't realize that those, even though those are manual trades, they also require a lot of intellect. So there's a lot of science, there's a lot of math, geometry in those trades as well.
Absolutely. No, that's interesting. All right, now let's circle back to the plumbing you were talking about. There's still need for really good plumbers, and
Yes.
I understand that you guys at Randolph Community College are starting a course, and it's not just any course, because didn't you tell me in an email or something one day that you have somebody really experienced that's taken over that
Yes.
class? I mean, what's that all about?
We do. Our instructor has almost 30 years of experience under his belt. So he has done everything in the plumbing trade, from estimating to managing crews, even running his own business.
Wow.
And so we're very excited to have him.
Not just academic with him.
Right.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
Now, I understand you've also expanded, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think I heard that you were expanding your welding facility. Now, where is that located, and what's that all about?
Yes, at Archdale. We had 20 booths. We have a very nice facility that's 20 booths. We have expanded it to 31 booths. We are also on one of only 5 AWS certified facilities in North Carolina.
That's great.
Yep.
Now, are you still offering apprenticeship programs? How's that going?
We do, yes, it's going great. We actually are looking, we just recently expanded. We started with advanced manufacturing. We just recently expanding into the automotive industry field, and now we are looking at doing some short-term apprenticeships.
Now, is it exactly what I remember from being a student 100 years ago? I mean, you're helping them go to a place, it's a real place of business.
Yes.
And so they're taking courses, but they're also
Working.
learning firsthand with that particular
That's
business.
right, in the field.
Now, how are you matching these folks up? I mean, is it just you just have a great network of people? Is it just people around the community surrounding the campus, or what are you doing?
We have employers who have agreed to hire students, but they actually go through an application process, interview process.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's just like they're applying for the job,
Absolutely.
but it's an internship.
Yep.
And they get full credit and all
Yes.
that kind of, okay.
Yes.
Now, what, I know we didn't rehearse this or anything, but what kind of feedback do you usually get from employers when you're working with them, whether it's an apprentice thing or whether it's just, hey, we're working on getting feedback from you on what kind of courses we should offer? What's your relationship with that? Because I think it's important for people to know this, and how you develop courses and what kind of feedback you get from the people that you send to them.
We have advisory committees. So even with my building trades, I'm going to have a building trades advisory committee, and we will have agencies, employers, suppliers, all on that committee who help us to develop and to continue to make sure that the classes we teach are relevant. And they give us a lot of feedback as far as they love that we're able to teach what they need the students to learn,
Right.
And that they can bring them in and train them what they need to learn for their business,
I think
and
that's
they
great.
often hire them. I mean,
think that's great.
permanently. So
My wife says, I know I can't do anything, to repair anything around the house, so you would not want me on, for example, the electrical board, right? You would, that would be
Correct.
that would
That's
be
correct.
would not be good for the college.
Right.
All right, up on screen, randolph.edu is the website. Please check that out, randolph.edu, or you can call 336-633-0268. Did I get that right?
That's
Is it 58?
correct.
It's my vision's
0268.
0268. Well, it's correct
that's correct.
on the screen.
Yes.
Wanda, thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
All right, you
Appreciate
take
it.
care.
All right, you
All
too.
right. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Triad Today. 'Tis the season. I don't mean the Halloween season or the Thanksgiving or the Christmas season. It is the season for enrollment for healthcare enrollment. It's an important topic to all of us, and we have an expert with us today that we're very glad he could be here. On my right is our guest, Mark Van Arnhem. He's director of the North Carolina Navigator Consortium. We'll find out about what that means in a second, for legal aid of North Carolina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. What is I just said you're a navigator. What is a navigator, and what does that have to do with the Affordable Care Act?
Yes, so that's an easy question to answer, and it's one that we get a lot. A navigator is someone who is certified through the federal government. So we're certified through CMS, which is the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, to go ahead and help people understand their options under the Affordable Care Act in the marketplace, the health insurance marketplace. It can be really confusing. I mean, I'm the director of the program, and I can find it confusing at times. And so we're here to help folks free of charge all over the state to understand their options, make sure they're getting everything they're eligible for in the way of tax credits and subsidies, and make sure they're picking plans that are right for them, their families, their needs, and their budget.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Now, when is open enrollment and who can enroll? Help me with that.
Yep. So open enrollment starts in just about 2 weeks from now, November 1st. Runs through December 15th. Those are really important dates. Beyond December 15th, folks can enroll. There's a few little things that we'll probably mention in a minute, but and pretty much anybody can enroll that needs coverage. You can come in and find out about your options and find out what you're eligible for at one of our many walk-in friendly events. That's a hard one to say.
Yeah.
Or call and schedule an appointment, or visit our website to schedule appointments as well.
Now, people are still confused about, is there still an Affordable Care Act? What parts of it are still working? All those kinds of stuff. The key thing is, though, when you're helping advise people, is there still affordable insurance out there?
There is, and that's the great news that we want to share with North Carolinians from the mountains to the coast, is that there is affordable options out there. A little over 500,000 folks enrolled in North Carolina last year. And out of that 500,000 folks, a little over 90% of those folks were getting some sort of subsidies to help pay for their coverage. And that was in the form of advanced premium tax credits. So those are tax credits that the federal government gives you, but instead of waiting till the end of the year at tax time to reconcile and send you a check for maybe those tax credits, they're sending those tax credits directly to the insurer. So your premium may go from $400 a month to the average premium that we're seeing in the Triad area right now is about $65 a month for folks. So that's less than a cable bill or phone bill for most folks.
I was really shocked, all my life, and I've been doing broadcasting for 50 years now, and went on Medicare last year, and it's just so simple. Once you get hooked in there and learn, and it's just a great system. Now, how can someone schedule an appointment or get more information? I think we should try to put up on the screen, as I'm asking you this, ncnavigator.net is a website, ncnavigator.net, 855-733-3711. What does that do when you go to that website or call? What's the deal?
So the great thing about ncnavigator.net is you can go there and find a lot of answers to some common questions that you might have. There will also be a calendar page with all the enrollment events all over the state, not just here in the Triad, but statewide. And you can also click right there. It says book an appointment now, and you can put in your zip code just as if you were searching for a hotel to stay in when you're going on vacation or something.
Sure.
And your mile radius, and you can find appointments that are right near you. You can book those appointments, again, free of charge, to come sit down with our navigators and find out what you may be eligible for.
I just think that's great. And I also want to put up on the screen our shout out and thanks to the good folks at KB Reynolds Charitable Trust. Up on screen, www.kbr.org. They do a lot of great things for folks, and in 15 or 20 seconds or so, how do they hook up with what you're doing? Why are they important?
Well, KB Reynolds Foundation has been a really great, has had a really great impact on our work. They have funded a lot of our work to be able to continue this truly statewide presence in the face of a lot of federal cuts to Navigator grants. So we are certainly so appreciative of the KB Reynolds Charitable Trust for allowing us to continue to do this really important work statewide.
Well, it is important work, and Mark, I thank you for coming here and sharing this with us.
Thank you.
All right, you take care.
You too. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Triad Today, and it's a special treat for me to have this gentleman, and we get him once or twice a year sometimes, but he's so busy, it's hard to nail him down, but we're glad he's here right now. Next to me is the Honorable Alan Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem. Welcome,
Hello,
sir.
Jim. How
Good
are
to
you,
see
sir?
again.
Good to see you as well.
Let's start out just in general. Give me an overview. What's the state of Winston-Salem's economy? How are things going?
Well, Jim, last year we created more jobs in our community than we have in decades. We've got a goal of creating about 5,400 net new jobs a year for 5 years in a row. And
Wow.
if we do that, we'll be one of the top 50 metro areas in the country. Last year we created 5,300, so they say that's close enough for government work, you know. So we're feeling really good about it. Unemployment is low. And we're making great progress in our entrepreneurial development programs and things of that nature.
That's
so
great.
I'm feeling we're moving in the right direction.
Let me talk about Renfro for a second. For
Yeah.
people that don't know, it's a sock manufacturing company. I believe it was headquartered or is out of Mount Airy. And looks like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, looks like you've successfully recruited them. There's some incentives that you're offering, some incentives that the county's offering. You know I hate incentives.
I know
but
you do.
We'll have that. We'll do another whole show on that.
Right.
But anyway, my question to you is, I know you don't go and just raid things. I mean,
Right.
they made an overture to you, right?
That's a good point, Jim. We don't fish in other people's ponds or all around us here, but they indicate we've got to move. We can't attract a talent that we need for a growing corporate headquarters, and so we're going to move one place or another. And we said, well, we'd love to have you in Winston-Salem, and made that pitch
And they're
to 'em.
coming, right? So
Well, they haven't made the final decision. I think it's going to come fairly quickly, and basically what I'm hearing, I'm feeling pretty positive about it.
Whitaker Park, bring me up to speed on what's going on with Whitaker Park.
As you know, Jim, R.J. Reynolds donated 1.7 million square feet of space to a nonprofit that we created. Great progress making there. Cook Medical, we were able to keep them here in the community.
That's great.
They're going to expand there, invest $55 million, and probably grow their workforce from 650 to 1,000 jobs. We just announced last week that Chris Harrison, the developer from Baltimore, is going to be doing some amazing work there with a almost $80 million project there with residential, hotel, and retail going in there.
It wasn't too long ago, it seems, where you were on this program, this very program, and announced that you were going to start this program to reduce poverty in Winston-Salem.
Yes, sir.
And it's been, what, a year or more? Or?
It's been about a year. We relaunched that, and that's a tough nut, as you may guess.
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, we've seen poverty rates come down from 26% to 21%. Now, I won't take credit for all that because we've only been in business for about a year, but it's going in the right direction. And Jim, we've got a lot of really neat programs that we're going to make some major announcements in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Some things to help with young people graduating from high school, being able to go to college, hopefully free.
Right.
And some things of that nature.
That'd be great.
Feeling good about it.
Our sister city and your friend Nancy Vaughn having some troubles over there with some gun violence, other types of violence. Not that Winston-Salem hasn't,
we are too.
but now they're talking about, city council over there is talking about maybe allocating $500,000
Yeah.
to an anti-violence program. Is that something you want to look into or already have, or what?
We're looking at a number of ways to do it. We've got a task force we're operating within the police department. We just got a large federal grant, Jim, that's called a shot locator. We'll be locating monitors all around various parts of the community that if there's a shot that occurs, it triangulates to where it was, and we can get immediate response to it there. But then I think there's some other things that we'll be looking at in terms of some social programs as well.
Any other challenges that lay ahead that we haven't covered? Anything you're looking ahead to 2020, things that'll be a challenge for you?
Well, there's always you can't ever let up. I think Will Rogers said the worst thing you do is sit on your laurels. So we don't want to sit on our laurels, and we got to keep pushing hard on things.
Am I the only one that's tired of hearing about the Dixie Classic Fair? And let's just change it and be done with it. But it seems like every week there's a new solution. Have you ever announced publicly what you think would be a good name? Or
You know, I like the Piedmont Classic myself. Carolina Classic is not a bad name, but it competes a little bit with what Greensboro has.
yeah,
perhaps.
because they like to have Carolina in their name.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I agree with you. All right. Well, look, just if people, folks, if you want more information about what's going on in the city of Winston-Salem, go to this website on screen, cityofws.org. For the radio listening audience in WSJS, let me remind you again, www.cityofws.org. Please check that out. To the Honorable Alan Joines, Mayor of Winston-Salem. Thanks for doing this.
Good to be with you, my friend.
All right, sir.
Take care.
We'll be right back after this. All right, today, just about time for the roundtable, but let me encourage you to get your copy of Yes Weekly. It's free. It's everywhere. Just go somewhere and grab it. And that's what I did with these three folks. I just grabbed them. I grabbed them and pulled them in here on my right, but always the political left. Ogie Overman, the great award-winning broadcaster journalist. Next to him is the lovely, talented, tough-minded. She will cut you.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I don't know why I said
Only
that.
him.
I don't know why I said, No, Carol Andrews, of course, she's the face of ABC 45 and My 48. We welcome her. And special guest David Daggett. We grabbed him literally and asked him to stay over from his earlier segment. So thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about Reverend Franklin Graham and his ministry. It is tax exempt. Okay, no problem. But as being tax exempt, he is not supposed to endorse or promote any political candidates. Critics are now saying that when he goes to his events, he's doing some pro-Trump messages. Is this something the IRS should look into and think about repealing that status, Ogie?
I'm so glad you asked this question, Jim. I've been saying it for years. He's nothing but a charlatan, a pro-Trump lackey. And he's flagrant about it. He almost doesn't even try to disguise it.
Yeah. His dad was pretty middle of the road on stuff like that.
It's pitiful.
Carol.
I almost think you'll be looking at a lot of pastors if you do that. I mean, churches have been where politics happen in so many situations, so I think you have to be real careful with that stone.
David.
I think you have to be real careful also. We have the issue of separation of church and state, and we have the issue of freedom of speech. Sometimes there's a little bit of overlap, but we have to protect both.
Right. Here's kind of a strange story coming out of Wake County. Concerned parents there are saying that there's this class in the schools, and it's sort of like a group therapy class where the high school kids sort of share their innermost thoughts with each other. The parents are complaining, saying in this day and age it's not a good idea to invade your privacy that way and put all your stuff out there. What do you think? Do you agree with the parents that they're concerned about it, Ogie, or is it okay?
Now, I think the first rule of group therapy is what you hear here stays here. If anybody violates it, they're out. But I know, and I myself have benefited from group therapy, and I know hundreds of people who have, so it's probably a good idea, I think.
Carol.
I tend to agree with the parents only because at high school age, the first thing you tell a child is don't tell, and the second thing they do is tell. So
Right.
I think it's kind of hard to maintain that privacy.
Mr. Daggett.
Yeah, my understanding of the situation is it's more like circle time.
Right.
And at circle time, that's what you do. I also think the photos I saw, it was a group of very diverse kids, and I think it's helpful to bring different types of students together with different thoughts.
Share their experience.
I think you have to be careful if it does get to the, quote, therapy stage.
Right.
I think there should be a little bit of a boundary there.
All right, New York City has just made it illegal to use the term illegal alien in a demeaning way, and I don't know what they mean by demeaning, when an immigrant is applying for housing or employment. Anyone violating the new law will be fined $250,000. Is there anything wrong with using the word alien, and is the fine too excessive? Ogie, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's got some teeth in it, I tell you. That law is definitely to be enforced. I think the word illegal is what they're going for more than alien. And put them together, and they are used to demean and to hurt and
Put
to
together, it's demeaning.
marginalize and to be less than.
Carol.
I agree, and I've been called alien my whole life, so I don't
And that
know.
was David calling
yeah,
you
and
that.
that's my attorney over here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't mess with Carol.
That's bad when your attorney starts calling you an alien, but so anyway, all right, David.
Well, I think that if it is used for discriminatory purposes or to demean somebody, I think it should have teeth in it. And that's my understanding of the situation is to fight the discrimination in the demeaning aspect.
All right, MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, a great organization, is supporting a federal law that would require car companies to install advanced alcohol detection technology as standard equipment by the year 2024. Would you like to see this bill passed, and will it pass? Ogie Overman.
I don't understand how it's going to work. I don't know what that means. Is it like a blow and go?
David would probably know more about it,
Your
but
key won't turn until you blow the thing.
it's supposed to prevent you from driving.
I'm not sure I like that or not.
Carol.
I'd like to see anything that would keep a drunk driver off the road. How you make it happen, I don't know, and how much it would mean cars would cost, would be exorbitant.
The practical matter is just not going to happen. Just simply not happen.
Too costly?
It's too costly. You're going to have partisan groups aligning on different sides. It's going to be a big mess. It won't happen.
Because it would, like we were talking about a second ago, it would prevent you from actually turning the ignition, right?
Yes.
All right. Finally, guys, let's change the, go a little bit lighter on this. This is a true story, though. North Carolina wildlife officials are receiving a growing number of complaints about male turkeys pounding on people's doors during mating season. Wildlife experts say we should hang something on our doors to dissuade the sex-starved turkeys. Guys and gals, have you hung anything on your door to discourage male turkeys? Ogie Overman. Because I know they pounded at your door.
When you change the subject, you really go all in.
Well, I don't know.
I can't think of anything dumb enough to say that would make any.
You're just going to let them pound on your door. Now, Carol is a newswoman, and she knows this is a serious news story. Carol.
It is, but I've still never met the turkey that could read. So what's?
That's funny. That's funny, Carol. Are you going to hang anything on your? What are you doing to prevent the?
I'm going to soar with the eagles, not hang with the turkeys.
Good.
I like it.
Yeah.
So the three. That's pretty poetic for somebody that calls Carol disparaging words, and even though he's in. No, all right. Thanks, guys. That's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. NASA just announced that 2 women astronauts aboard the space station will perform the first all-female spacewalk. The ladies will be gone for several hours, allowing the male astronauts to play their music really loud, eat crackers on the sofa, and Skype Hooters girls. You like that, Ogie? Well, that's what they're going to do while the women are out of the
Yeah,
house.
they will.
For all of us, except for Carol, who didn't like it. For all of us here, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.